What's up, everybody? Kafka here, and today we're talking about Endgame. I just got through an hour video, and I've watched a lot of content around PoE2 Endgame, and it just destroys anything Diablo has. There is 8 different activities you could do for the Endgame, and the Endgame, each activity has its own skill tree. So you're going to basically put points into your endgame activity as you complete those different endgame activities. I said activity a lot, but there's a lot of activities, man. There's so much room for activities. All right, so the first one we're going to talk about is the Ascendancy. So in Acts 1 through 3, you're going to be able to ascend your character. I think it's like after Act 2. And once you ascend your character, you get a new skill tree of Ascension. Well, we need a way to grow that, and that is through the endgame process of Ascensions. So there's 2 different endgame features for Ascensions to get different skills and basically level up your Ascension. So you're going to see that you put a relic in here and it opens up the trials. It's a coin called a soul of a Jinn, and you put it in the relic altar and you can enter the trials. So the short version of this is you're going to see this map. So this map allows you to get to your Ascension. So you're going to see that there's different keys for different rewards at the end of the Ascension. So there's going to have different boons and banes, basically like negative affixes that are going to apply to your character on some of these. Some of them you can't die. Some of them you can't lose life. There's going to be a lot of affixes to basically make it more difficult for completing the trials. And you see the directions you could go to. The obviously goal is to get to this point right here, and now you could ascend your character. So this is an example of the Ascendancy tree. So you could see right here, this is the witch, this is the infernal witch, I believe, and you have different abilities based on how much of the ascension trials you've completed during the end game. You'll get 2 points right off the rip from completing it early on, and you'll be able to ascend your character, but then you'll have to do more end game content for trials to actually complete your character. So we're going to show a couple of abilities on the screen here. So the witch's ability to summon a hellhound. So you put it in there, it shoots out this hellhound, and it's on fire, and it burns everything around you, but also it takes damage for you. So if you take damage, it gets transferred to hellhound. So really cool thing. And then the other one, the demon form. So the demon form is crazy. You actually lose life while you're a demon, but you could cast skills a lot faster. You're faster. You can move around the map more freely. You have higher spell damage as well. So as your life goes lower, then you do more of that, more damage, less cooldowns, things like that. So in the trials, you have a thing called honor. And if you run out of honor, that's like by getting hit too much or dying too much, you basically fail the trial. So there also is relics to start the trial. Once you put these relics in with the coin to activate the trial, there's special things that they could do for you. So like this one right here, the last flame, is if you use this one, you basically can't take any hits, but you will get a legendary item at the end of the trial. So that's absolutely crazy. So there's some really cool stuff you can do with the trials to get some really cool gear. Basically, you need to do a hitless run. So just this is a quick example of, this is the second trial that you'll get in Act 3 to basically get further points in your Ascension. So you have Act 2 and you have Act 3, but then you do more Ascensions during the end game, which are different trials to increase your Ascension powers. So this real quick is a mercenary fighting a Ascension Trials boss. So you can see that this is a really cool fight. A lot of mechanics here. It's like this big bird of chaos. There's tornadoes that will one-shot you. There's some stuff that follows you around. Literally, you have to dodge things that are shooting out. And this is part of Act 3's Ascension process to progress your character through Ascension. You can see he's trying grenades, he's shooting his rifle, this guy's going all over the place, but looks like he's gonna take him down here. We'll go to the end. He did. So you'll see too, once you beat him, there's all the rewards that drop. You can get, obviously get loot, but you also get different things that are only available in the trials, like Val Orbs, and then the Soul Core of the Thunder. And these things will allow you to modify your gear. They could add sockets to your gear. They could enhance the blue spot, the blue items like the suffix on your gear. So these gems are something that you're going to want to farm in the trials to further progress your character. So those were the 2 trials, and those are going to be through Act 2 and Act 3, and then you're going to run different versions of those trials in the end game to upgrade your ascensions. So I want to talk about this a little bit. This is the Atlas map. So basically this is a huge part of the end game, right? So this is an infinitely scrolling map. There's always going to be nodes that you could actually go to fight different end game maps, different endgame bosses, different endgame modes. What you'll see on the map is if it's green, that's something that you completed. And then if you have green, you could touch, if you have green next to like a blue, you could go to that one as well. Use waypoints, stones to go there, which look like this. You have your waystone and you basically put it in there and you hit traverse and you will portal to that zone. Basically opens up the portals. You click the portals. So you'll get a random generated map, and this is where you're going to be able to farm items, farm gear. They might not all have a boss at the end. It does tell you on the map if it does have a boss. So this is an example of showing there is a boss on this little icon. So that if you do this map, you will have a boss at the end of that map, which could be good for loot. And then this one has a breach as well, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So what you see on screen here is a map of the progression system on the Atlas. So like I was talking about before, you have your skill points that are for each endgame activity on its own. So this is one for Atlas. You're going to be able to go in whatever direction you see fit in this particular one. But then there's also ones for different endgame modes that are still available. So breaches is another part of the endgame for PoE2, and we're going to take a look at one of the breaches. All right, so when you trigger this breach, you'll see that this purple thing is actually coming out of the ground, and all these demons come out. And you need to kill them as fast as possible because you want your breach to expand. So if you're quick, you're going to be able to keep it going for a very long time and cover a ton of the map for like better rewards at the end. If you're not as strong, it might end like that one just ended. So the breach is over, but the idea is to be as very fast with your kill speed to extend the breach as much as possible. The reason why you do breaches is because there's different rewards that only come from breach. So you could see there's a breach splinter right there that dropped, and then the catalyst. So those you're going to pick up. So what they do is when you click one of those, it adds a quality that enhances life modifiers on amulet and replaces other quality types. So basically what that's going to do is if you have plus to life on your ring, it's going to enhance that stat. And there's a lot of different stats is what I'm hearing that you could actually get on these kind of breach items. So you see the life going up right there. And then breach also drops breach rings, which could be some of the best rings in the game for once you get them to the higher tiers. And the base type is quality of 50, and then you could use those to upgrade them. And the other thing you're going to find in breach are those breach splinters, which we picked up. We've seen them. We picked it up here. If you get to 300, you could unlock one of the pinnacle bosses, and those are like your GG endgame bosses. And I think we have a little video of the pinnacle boss. So this is a timed fight to actually get to the boss. So looks like we got 15 seconds to stay alive, progress, and once we get to the boss, here we are. One of the pinnacle bosses. I think this is 1 out of 8, and they're only showing this one boss. So really cool mechanics. Like the boss looks freaking sweet. I can't wait, man. I know the graphics are going to be like way better too because we're recording here and we're watching a YouTube video. I can't wait to see what it looks like because it's going to look so sweet on a high graphics card PC. I think it's going to look awesome with the specs turned up. So, but that's the pinnacle boss. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone. We'll go on to something else. So once you defeat that boss, you're going to get points for that particular Atlas tree that you're working on for your endgame progression. So you can see that right here, that's 2 out of 8. This is the breach tree. So how it works is for the 8 different endgame activities that they have, which is a ton, you're going to have your own tree. So you're going to run through, you're going to complete that. And then once you complete it one time, you could now go back and complete it again at a higher difficulty for more rewards. So stronger loot, and then also to get more skill points for that tree. like this breach tree. So I want to talk about these towers for a little bit. So once you complete breaches, you could also get these tablets, and these tablets are actually placed in here for the towers to activate. Once you activate the towers, you could change some of the nodes that you have on your map to what you want. So if you want to do more breaches, or if you want to do more bosses, based on what skill tree you need, you could actually change and change around your current map for endgame. So your map could look totally different than somebody else's map. You might not even be anywhere near where someone else is, but you're still progressing. You're still getting having a great experience on an end game for PoE2. All right, so another end game activity is called these expeditions, and basically what happens is you're able to run through this map and dig some of these abilities up, or boons and banes or affixes that are going to happen to this run, and you basically are detonating the actual portion of the events that you want to complete. And it's pretty confusing, so I would watch the whole video around this. It's actually about, I think, 15 minutes of video around this. But basically what you're doing is you're placing string down, and you're going to be detonating. And once you detonate it, it kind of starts the actual run. So, and again, this is an end game thing that you're going to able to get different crafting materials for your character's build by doing this. So you can see that he detonated everything, and now everything's exploding. Chests come out because everything that was underground pops up basically, and you get different rewards for doing this. And once you get like further on and progress through this, when it gets harder and harder, you're going to find bosses, and you're going to find that it's going to able to explode a wider radius to get more rewards as well. So a lot of the stuff that you're going to see here is for crafting. Look, a unique dropped. So looks like they got a unique and they're identifying it. So you have to identify the uniques when you get them. Looks like there was little scrolls. What are the scrolls called? So we know what that is. The scrolls are called Scroll of Wisdom. So the Scroll of Wisdom is what identifies the items for you. So this is a little bit more confusing for me. I'll have to play this a few times, and then the idea is like when I get to endgame is to basically make a bunch of content about each endgame activity, so you guys could see what's going on. And if you didn't get there as fast as Kalfker or something like that, hopefully I'll get to the endgame by the weekend. That's the goal. We'll see. Be up all night, baby. We're playing PoE. We're getting excited, man. I'm not an expert, but I want to become an expert. I really do want to become an expert at the game. This is just showing off some of the crafting. So you could buy an item, and then once you buy it, he offers to do various crafts on it, and you could remove all the prefix modifiers. So if you don't like those, you could remove that and basically put new ones on, and then you could just upgrade it a couple times. So, but like I said, very excited about playing PoE, really excited about trying these endgame content. Man, I'm really excited about building a Sork, because I feel like there's this endless ways to build it. And I really don't think that there's going to be a way to your first run through. I don't even know. Do we need build videos? Do we really need? I'll show off what I have, but I think that everyone should just build your character. And I feel like you could build a character and just figure out how you want to play it. And then if you see something cool, maybe on your second character, you do that. That's kind of what I feel. But I'll share it. Whoever wants to see it, once I get up and running, we'll share them. But endgame content is looking good. I would recommend watching it. You can see that I'm hovering. The end game details start at 30 minutes and it ended at an hour and 31 minutes. So there is a ton of stuff to watch, guys. So that is all I got for you today. I got an ad on the screen, so that means I do have to get off. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.